I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Oh, where's my face? Okay. Ah, there we go. Alright. Hello everyone, my name's Playbox. I'm a competitive player in Rainbow Six. I've been playing Rainbow Six for 4 years now, and I will be the host for today's R6 workshop. So this has been organized by the Rainbow Six Singapore Community Group, also known as R6SC, in collaboration with SCAPE's community rallies. So throughout this broadcast, if you have any questions about the game, feel free to write it down in the Twitch chat, or if you're a participant, write it down in the workshop chat that's provided in the Discord channel. And also, one thing to note is please kindly also keep the topics that you want to talk about. Keep your questions within today's topics, which will be more on today's roles of an operator, so like entry fragging and everything like this. If you have any questions, you can write it down in the chat, and also the workshop chat in the Discord as mentioned. Also, a bonus about this workshop is for those participants who have participated in 3 out of 5 of the workshops already, or it can be in any 3, it does not have to be in order, so it can go like 1, 3, 5. If you participate in at least 3 of these workshops and you actively participate, you get registered, and you have one of the admins like Quicks or Hipster Fox to record you in the attendance, you'll be receiving 2,400 credits for free just by participating in 3 of the workshops. Also, if you enjoyed today's session, I highly suggest that you also sign up for the remaining workshops, which will be still on 26th September and the 3rd of October. So there's still 2 more workshops after this one. And also, yeah, there'll be 2 more workshops. Sign up. You get to learn stuff. You get to meet new friends. You get to join a community. As this is run by the R6SC, you get to meet other Singaporean players who have a passion in Rainbow Six. So without further ado, let's get started. Let me remove this sticky notes because nothing was a script. Alright. So a bit more about me is my name's Geraldo. That's my real name. Playbox is just the in-game name I choose to go by. I've ranked diamond basically every season. My highest season I got about 5,200 MMR. I've been playing for 4 years now. I mainly play in-game leader in a competitive team that I play for, and also I play more of a utility flex role, so like Nomad, Gridlock, Capita, all these kinds of things. Also, if you think that I am entertaining or cool or handsome or I don't know, if you think I'm something, right? Feel free to follow my socials. It's at the bottom, which is Geraldo G's for Instagram and Playbox Areno for Twitter. Alright, don't mind the bottom piece, actually. Oops. Oopsie. But yeah. So for this workshop breakdown, right? So for this is just basically like the content page. For the first portion, which will be separated within 15 minutes plus of theory and 45 minutes of actual playtime, followed by another session, which would be another 15 minutes of theory and 45 minutes of playtime. This will basically be what we'll be mainly focusing on and covering. So, for example, like what roles exist, so we'll be first focusing on attack. So for the first portion, it's more on attack, so later on I'll also just be spectating more of the attacking side. So we focus on what roles actually exist on the attacking side, what they do, and just figuring out what kinds of operators that maybe you're more suitable for. And on the second portion, it will be focused on the complete opposite, which will be more on the defending side, and we also have a bit of a short Q&A between both sessions and at the end. Big Awi, give me a second. I think I've got a message. You go search for the social so I can unfollow? Alright, so actually there's not much to cover. And wait, give me 1 second. I will just be starting up the lobby. So basically what will go down is if you have signed up, right, you'll be invited by Hipster Fox, which is one of our moderators / admins, right, of this event, and just add him, and then upon adding him, he will invite you into this lobby, and all is swell, all is cool. Oopsie, it is R6SC Fox. Yeah, R6SC Fox. I will be changing the map to Cafe. Alright, now let's go back to the slides. Where is my presentation button? Oh no! Oh no! Where's my presentation button? Give me a second. This is awkward. Am I? Give me a moment. Give me a good 1 minute. Oh, actually no. Actually, just give me like 30 seconds. It won't take any longer than 30 seconds. All right. I am reloading. All right. Everything is cool. Alright, yep. All is fixed. We're chill. We're back, baby. Part 1. I'm not panicking. Who do you think panics? You think I panic? Bro, I'm a big boy. Alright, so what roles exist for the attacking side? Common general roles, it'd be things like entry fragger, second entry, a hard breacher, a support, and also a flex. So these are the 5 most typical roles and words that you hear quite a lot in the Rainbow Six community. By everyone basically, and also some of the sub roles are like basically what sub roles are is either roles in addition, or they're roles that aren't so common but they still fill a purpose in the game, right? But usually you won't need them per se in every situation. So firstly, it'd be the in-game leader. So in-game leader is basically like a main coordinator. You're basically creating a strategy and coordinating everyone, like, hey, you push here, you push there, kind of thing. I'll be going deeper in later a bit. Flank watch is things like Gridlock, Nomad, or whatever, Claymore or whatever, and you just watch the flank, right? This is like sub roles. Anyone can do it. As in any one of the general roles like entry fragging, everything. You can be both in-game leader, you can be flank watch. It's just like a role on top of your role, right? I don't be big panic. Alright. So, entry fragging. So typically these operator icons, I'm just putting how the operators look. It does not necessarily mean that they can only play entry or they can only play second entry. It's more like a general baseline, and they're kind of like the face of the role. So whenever you're talking about, hey, I'm a entry player, most people would immediately think Ashe. Just an example. So basically what you do as an entry fragger, right, is you are mainly the one to clear the rooms, and basically, let's say you need to clear room 1 to get into the bomb site. So the person who clears room 1 will be your entry fragger. So usually these players will be a lot more gunfight dependent, and they are usually quite explosive. So what explosive? I mean like they win a lot of fights that they're not really supposed to win, in a sense. Like they turn the odds for their favor, right? To their favor. Some second entry would be like Zofia, or the face of the category. So basically what Zofia does, right? She's basically like what second entry is, sorry, is more like, let's say you need 2 entry fraggers because you need to clear not only room 1, but you need to clear room 1 and 2. But room 1 and 2 are very far from one another. So you can't have one guy just to clear both because it's very far. So this is when you need a second entry. So it's basically like an entry fragger, but like a second one. If not, if you only just need to clear that room 1, you would then have your Zofia or your second entry player play behind your entry frag. So behind your Ashe. So this way, let's say the Ashe dies, the Zofia will be the first one to immediately cover, kill off the enemy. So trade, right? And then boom bap bam, you still have control of room 1. So basically this is just these two are usually paired together. In these slides you'll be seeing 2 operators usually and 2 roles. They're usually put together inside of the game. That's why I decided to have them on the same slide. So following as well, it would be the Heart Breach and Support. These are like iconic duos. So Heart Breaching, usually you're the one mainly droning, or let's say your entry fragger needs you to watch his drone in a hallway. Then the person to get on said drone would be you as a Heart Breacher. So usually it'd be like Thermite, Hibana, or Maverick sometimes. So mainly what you do also is you use your utility in opening up walls, opening up hatches, and usually you'll be paired up with support, because being a Heart Breacher, you try your best to stay alive. Try not to be the opening pick, because you're quite vital in order to win rounds as an attacker, especially as you need to open walls towards bomb sites, as we learned from last week, where we opened up lines of sights. Just a gentle reminder what we did last week. And basically, yeah, so you're playing more passive, you're taking your time. You kind of only take gunfights if you need to take gunfights, or you know that you have a very clear advantage in winning the gunfight. Other than that, you try to stay alive just so that you can use your gadget. Once you use your gadget, you're a bit more free, can kind of do a bit whatever you want, really. So support usually is more like Thatcher, right? So like Thatcher, Kali, these kinds of operators which are usually paired together with your Heart Breacher in order to open walls. So something like from last week also, we learned that we usually will have these 2 paired to open up walls for lines of sight, right? So basically as a support, you're basically like the second entry to an entry, right? But except this time you're more of a second entry to the Heart Breacher. So basically you're paired together, you're helping one another. So let's say when the Heart Breacher is joining, the support is the one making sure the Heart Breacher doesn't die while on drone, right? And also make sure you're paired together so you can effectively use your gadget to open up walls quicker. So yeah, so some tips is like you gotta learn to communicate well with your Heart Breacher. Make sure you understand as a pair like what's going on. Yep. So what roles exist, right? So what roles exist would be like IQ, which is flex. So flex basically means whatever your team may be needing in that specific bomb site that you're attacking, or that specific round. So basically you just pick whatever your team needs. Let's say there's a lot of gadgets, right? They're playing Echo, they're playing Valkyrie, because we also covered that Intel is very important on the defending side. So as an attacker, you try to get rid of these gadgets, and that's why IQ is such a good pick, where you can destroy gadgets, right? You can find gadgets, you can destroy gadgets. But let's say you don't need that because the enemy isn't playing it. Let's say they're just playing more. Let's say that there's a lot of bulletproof cameras, a lot of shields, right? So what you would then need is things like Zofia, things with operators with grenades as well to destroy these things. So basically you're just like you don't really have a set operator, you just play whatever is needed in that specific situation. So one tip is you just want to understand more on what your team necessarily needs. So let's say you lose a round, you have to like kind of discuss a bit like, hey, what went wrong, and from there you decide what then you would have to bring the next round. So this is just a sub role, right, which is in-game leader. So in-game leader, you're kind of just the main coordinator. You're like the big boss, right? Everyone listens to your command, and usually you would have to have the higher level of understanding of the game compared to the rest, so they can guide everyone. And yeah, but usually it's no pressure really. As long as everyone's coordinated, it's much better if everyone's coordinatedly doing something wrong than if everyone's uncoordinatedly doing whatever, right? So yeah, that's the main important thing. So this is just some good to know, right? So let's say you wanna look for a team. I'll keep this brief. Is like, in my intro you would have seen that this is what I wrote, right? My name, my rank, how long I've been playing, and some of the roles I play. So this is just some ways you can, display what's your gameplay, your game style, your play style, right? Yeah, which is like in-game leader, utility flex, so on. Kappa, that's my brother. Alright, without further ado, let's start practical session 1. Most important is I would like if the attackers mainly, right, you guys try to split up your roles. Don't all play flex, don't all play entry. Try to figure something out. Play one guy support, one guy heart breach, one entry, one Zofia, stuff like that. Right. Without further ado, I think everyone should be in the lobby. Wow, that's sick. Sick. Everyone's on time, baby. All right. Everyone's ready, right, Fox? I'll just be waiting on Fox to see if everyone is poggy woggies. Is everyone poggy woggies? Is Fox alright? Is everything ready? Everything ready. In the meantime, everyone grab your bottle of water, drink up, don't be dehydrated. People don't drink enough water. Use his mic. Yes, let's go. Yo, coffee is good. Also, keep in mind, for those who are watching and tuning in from Twitch and not in the Discord, right? You guys can feel free to ask your questions in chat. I'm not gonna be cliche and say like I don't bite, but like I'm just saying, feel free to ask whatever you want to ask for today, because actually today there's quite a lot of intricacies, if that's the right word. So it's like yeah, there's actually a lot that goes behind a role. Everyone say bye. Bye, Playbox's brother. Alright. So there's no questions at the moment. So at the moment you can see they are kind of covering a bit, minus Quack. I'm not so sure. But so some things to note is right now they have Zofia, right, which is like a second entry or an entry even. Most likely entry considering the lineup that they currently have. But so let's have the round start first, and now I can follow. So okay, this is Cornbread, right? So if you see what Cornbread's playing, this is called Vertical. We learned it from last week's lesson, which is more on like what gadgets, right? We are introducing the operators and things like Sledge, Buck are more of the vertical characters. Also, if you haven't noticed, today is just a follow-up from last week. So last session. So basically what vertical covers is, it is a role in itself, but usually your vertical is your flex. So under flex you can have vertical players, you can have
5 seconds remaining.
smoke. So it's like utility like Capital, Ying, anything with smoke, you would consider that a flex as well. So there are even lineups where you would end up having 2 flex, 3 flex players. So try not to be too rigid, right? Like this is just more of a general guideline, what operators you can have, what roles you can have. But on different maps, different everything, it's more of how your team wants to play and how you make it work. So like yeah, Finka as well, she's one of the newer operators, and it's also another flex operator because it doesn't necessarily fill any of the roles. It's more of just something that fits your team, if not, it's just something that maybe it's a comfort pick, right? There's no real reasoning behind picking it. So yeah, following our schedule, we'll be mostly focusing on the attacking side, basically on the first half. This is Ace. So what the Wacky's playing is called Ace. It's the newest heart breacher in the game. It's a very important character, as you can see, as it opens up reinforced walls. So generally, it's very important to bring a heart breacher on every map besides coastline. So but in rule of thumb, try to bring a heart breacher whenever you can, definitely, because you would end up needing it 100%. Like a good idea would be that reinforcements are basically like a defender's best friend, right? It makes them immortal basically, because they hide behind the wall. You can't shoot through it, you can't do anything about it. So as an attacker, the best way to make the defenders feel uncomfortable, not be able to play certain angles, not be able to feel so safe, right? You would need a heart breacher, and that's why heart breachers is like a 99% pick. Like if you see pro players play, you basically pick a heart breacher whenever you can, most of the time at least. Yeah. So something good that you just saw, it's like a vertical player with grenades, right? So as I was speaking earlier as well about operators and the roles, right? Grenade operators in itself is kind of a role. In the sense where you don't have to clear an angle. So let's say instead of picking Capital, right? And you fire the corner, or let's say you have an entry fragger. Instead of having your entry fragger risk their life to clear an angle, you could chuck a nade. So in a sense, it's also like a flex. In a sense, as I said, it's very flexible. Like this term of like roles and playstyle, right? It's rather flexible. So there's no real like rule. It's just more like a general guideline, right? Where you try to have everything incorporated, which is why today is a bit complicated, right? Where let's say let's think. Let's say a flex player. Let's say you wanna bring flex. You're playing flex, but you only play IQ. You don't have to play Yana or other grenade operators like Sledge. So usually you would try to balance it out, like have someone with grenades but also be able to cover the role of a vertical. Have someone with flashbangs but also cover the role of entry frag. Something like that.
Attackers have discovered the location of a
So as long as you fill up these gaps, you kind of have a very good baseline, right? You're very versatile in your operator lineup, which like last week we learned, you know, operator lineups. You try to be very flexible, very versatile. You don't just play Ashe every round. You don't just play Zofia every round if you're not using it correctly. So yeah, definitely you need to try and find the balance, right? You don't just pick something for the sake of it. You kind of pick it because it will probably help you win that round. So something you will see from Cornbread, right, playing the Fuse, this is a flex or slash vertical, right? So basically the only way to make Fuse effective, for example, which uses a cluster charges where when you place on a wall it shoots out grenades basically. So the only way to make it useful and viable is if you're pushing above the bomb site, which looks like she is going to do. So that's basically how you're supposed to play around your gadget. Like right now we see Fluffy, right, using the Twitch to destroy all these bandit batteries. This is very good use of their utility, and you know, this is something that actually even the Twitch chat can learn as well, where they are actually properly using their gadgets for learning, right? Yeah, so over here you can see the charges going off. They're playing vertical, and as you can see, like right now the support player, Pokemon, the Thatcher, on drones, and this is something that's really good. Like if the heart breacher is not around the drone, which is, as we have just seen, the Wacky has died. Pokemon, right, the Thatcher player will be the next one who is mainly droning. This is usually because that support players and heart breach players, they would have to play more passive. So usually in like the first 1 minute they don't really have much to do. So the best thing for them to do is really just help their teammates drone and help their teammates, yeah, basically just drone whatever they need help with. It's the support and heart breacher to help, because they would require the room to be clear first, and the person to clear that room will basically be anyone except, you know, the support. Uh-oh. So it's quite a lot of downtime at the moment, right? But yeah, one thing that was quite good, right? If you all noticed also, was a lot of them are playing their utility, right? Like Fuse was using his gadget, Thatcher was using his EMP and the Clash, Twitch was using the drones for battery charges, Mira. So yeah, basically this is good, right? Like if you don't face any struggles, there's no need to change up too much. But definitely, how do I put this? It could still be better. Like as we saw, like the Wacky died right after. I don't even think he used his gadget. I'm not too sure. But usually as like a hard breach and a support, right? Bringing back my point on being very versatile, very flexible, you don't necessarily have to stay alive, right? You don't have to keep on playing passive. Let's say you've done your job, you open up the walls, you've destroyed all the gadgets. You're actually very free now. You don't have something to stay alive for, in a sense. Like you could be an entry fragger after you use the gadget.
Defenders, protect your
Because
bombs from being defused
usually
by
as a
attackers.
hard breacher support player, you would only stay alive to use your gadget. You wouldn't stay alive
Bomb located by
to get
attackers.
kills or entry clear rooms. So once you're done using your gadgets, you're basically free to do whatever you need. You can still drone for your teammates 100%.
Attackers have discovered
But
the location of a
in
bomb.
general, you are actually the most free right now. So let's say your thermite, you've used both your charges. Technically, you would have less worth as like an entry fragger with flashbangs or a sledge with grenades, because you've already done your job.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds remaining.
So this is something also it's not so good where you just lose your drone at the start of the
Attackers are moving
round.
to defuse a bomb.
As an attacker, we learned from the last lesson, right, is you try to keep your drones alive because they basically work as another teammate. Something Fabian, right, a very famous Rainbow Six player, said, treat your drones like it's a teammate, where you don't just go in to die with your drone, right? You try to keep that drone alive as much as you can, make use of it as much as you can, basically, yeah. Like right now, you spot the enemy, there's no need to chase, right? You just bring it back. Like, hey, he's pushing the hallway. That's it. You don't have to, you know, follow the guy, right? So yeah. So we see a fuse again, right? And as we what's that word? As we've discussed already, right? It's a vertical player. So basically this role is a flex role, and usually you would have someone drone for the flex, which I don't think is happening. As you can see, there's no drone. I don't really recommend this. If it was properly done, right, fuse could have been very easy to kill as a defender. So usually what would happen is you would want to have your thermite, your hard breacher or your support player be the ones to drone you. So what you can do is you can just say, like, let's say your hard breacher is the Wacky, like, oh Wacky, can you drone me into mining? So this way it's a lot more safe for the fuse to go above. So right now you can see that, example for Wacky, right? He's already done his job. He's opened up this main wall. So he's quite free to do whatever he wants. But looks like he wants to open this other wall. So this is when you would have to have very good communication with your Thatcher player, which is Pokemon, which I think they're having a bit of miscommunication. So what would usually happen is, let's say the hard breach player like, hey, I want to open up this wall. I need an EMP or a Thatcher, right? So that way the Thatcher should immediately go like, okay, throw his gadget, boom, bap, bam, everything is done. Rather than just wait and wait and wait. So this is just something to note if you're trying to be more of a support player in future. So as you can see, another hard breach gadget is going off, right? Ace's charge. So
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
this is what's so good about hard breach as well. You open up lines of sight, which Wacky just got a kill from, right? So usually what would happen is you can open the front and the back. So this, as I was saying, from is that it opens up lines of sight that makes it very uncomfortable for defenders to play in the bomb site safely. So let's say there's an indestructible table that they're playing behind. With the wall open, now they can't play behind it. So it makes them a lot more prone to dying. Ooh.
5 seconds to go.
Oh.
Operators, you are out of time.
Yeah. We'll be playing till about, most likely with the time we have, we could go to 4-4. So play 8 rounds. Yeah. Also to anyone in the Twitch chat, or if the workshop people, participants watch this VOD again, right? Is that I mainly play utility operators, and I used to play Heartbreach for about 2 years. So if you really have something that you want to ask about, and you're shy, I don't know, just DM me. It's not very uncommon. I've actually been having a few of the participants directly just DM me asking, hey, what do you think I can improve on? What do you think I can do? And usually not usually, all the time, I would respond them within a day. So yeah, don't be too shy to just DM me. I'm not like some scary boy. I'm just a short, skinny, lanky dude. So all's calm. So now we can see Cornbread playing Amaru, right? So she's no longer on the fuse, and what this would mean is that most likely they wouldn't have to play vertical. They'll probably just be hitting sight straight away, and it's not necessarily wrong, but it's not necessarily recommended. But yeah, looks like Wacky is now playing more Flex and not on Heartbreach, which is this operator called Nomad. It's more of a flank watch slash Flex player, while Pokemon's the one playing on Heartbreach from support. So usually Heartbreach players and support players are like the same. They both kind of play this very heavy supportive role instead of being like the star player. They're more of like the behind the scenes carry. So yeah, important roles. Be nice to your support players. That's all I can say, dude. So as you can see, yeah, Pokemon on the Heartbreach role, droning a lot for the team, spotting out players, spotting out gadgets. This is what, you know, a support player should do. I can't tell if it's being communicated to the rest of the team, but if it is, then it's very, very good. So here, this is bad. That's bad. What can be improved? It's not I'm not saying that the person is bad. I'm saying the way it's pushed is bad is because let's say it was asked like, hey Pokemon, or like, hey Hibana, can you drone me into the white hallway, which is what the call out is for that portion, right? That way, you know, the Amaru will be able to identify that, hey, there's a player on the end of the hallway, so that person knows where to aim, right? They don't just aim like on the staircase and they go up, then they go right, then they go left, down. So it's a lot easier. So yeah, in any like a team-based game, communication is basically as important as it gets. So never forget that. Always talk to your support players. Always talk to your entry players. I'm not sure if we had a drone on that. I don't think so. Never mind. So something to note, actually, right now we are not seeing so much drones. I think it's because they've lost a lot of the drones. Now they still have 2 left. Yeah, you see this support player is droning, which makes it so much safer. So instead of having to throw a body and hope that the room is clear, you can just use a drone. If the room's not clear, the room's not clear. But if it's clear, that way you know that it's 100% that it's safe to just enter the room without really having to worry too much. So this saves a lot of time, and as you can see, 30 seconds left is not a lot of time. So as we've learned as well, I will always elaborate on this because it's very important, is that the less time there is left in a round, the more of an advantage it is for the defending team. So this is just something for the attackers to note.
Attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped. 10 seconds to go.
Looks like they've lost the diffuser as well. So one thing to note as well, in terms of roles, right, is that the hard breacher or the support player is usually the one with the diffuser, not the flex, not the entry, not the second entry. This is because usually as a hard breacher and support player, you're usually not the one doing a lot of dangerous, risky plays. You're usually the one that's droning, playing very passive, not really taking too many gunfights. So this way, you're usually in a safer position to keep the diffuser safe and away from the defender, right? So usually that's just a thing to note. So usually as a hard breacher or support player, just press F, pick up the diffuser at the start of the round, and yeah. Don't just hope someone else will pick it up. As a hard breacher or support player, usually you would have to pick it up because you're in a safer position. And let's say you run out of time, you have 20 seconds left at least, you know, you're alive, you have the diffuser in control, you could still try and plant. Rather than you would have to, you know, rush down a hallway as an entry frag and potentially drop the diffuser in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, this is something to note.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So yeah, we're still going to be focusing on the attacking side. Mainly because first portion of today will be more on the attacking side. There's actually a little bit more stuff to talk about on the attacking side as well compared to the defending side. Because generally defending side, there's not really many roles per se. It's more of, yeah, there's not really many roles. A lot of things stack up. But in terms of attacking, there's actually a lot that goes behind attacking.
10 seconds to go.
So yeah.
5 seconds to go. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Let's see if there's any questions, right? I don't think there is questions at the moment. Yep. There's no questions at the moment, so that's alright. It's calm. So yeah, it looks like they're droning, right? I saw someone on drone. I forgot who was it. I saw someone. Yeah, Wok was on drone. So, what's good about this is he's using his drone effectively. He's clearing rooms with his drone. He's not risking his life too much. He's still staying outside. However, I would still suggest that it would be more of Mondus role or Ephemeral, the Thatcher player, the drone. Because it's, yeah, they're just in a safer position. I would always say this is a hard breacher and a support. The best thing you can kind of do is just stay alive. You staying alive is already valuable. As long as you're droning properly and stuff like that, you're already doing quite a lot for your team. Hello. Hi, Awi. I like your name. I say ow a lot. And we. Alright. So, I was asked, what does Monty feel? Monty is a flex. Monty plays flex and support. So, instead of droning, you are the drone, right? And it's flex because you don't open walls. You're not really an entry frag either, because yes, you may be the first to enter a building, but you're not really the one getting the kills. So yeah, you're just like a walking drone. Think of it that way. More of a support. Yeah, you're a giant indestructible drone. From the front. That's basically their yeah, this is how it works. But as you can see, there's always going to be a hard breach player. You should always have a hard breach player. So this is Wok, right? Wok is playing Zofia, playing more of an entry frag role, it seems, where he's clearing alone, he's pushing spaces in which...
Attackers activating diffuser.
Oh yeah. But basically as an entry frag, you are usually either pushing first with your team, or you're pushing the opposite side of where your team pushes. So what's so good about this is, let's say there's a bomb site, right? And you push all the attackers, 5 attackers from the west side. This way, the defenders will only have to place all their defenders on the east side, and then it's just gonna be like a choke point, right? They're just gonna be constantly just shooting, but no one's gonna die. So what you usually would have is your entry fragger flank from behind, or your second entry go from behind. So you don't just push from the west, you push maybe 1 or 2 people from the east. This way, it's like flushing out the defenders. So I know we covered that usually you would have a hard breacher open the walls opposite, but let's say you're in lack of time, and usually when it's like the last like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, usually the defenders would start slipping up. and making mistakes. They're not watching each other's backs as much anymore. So this is when you have a guy maybe push from the back. So like
Defenders,
instead of
protect your
putting all
bombs
5
from
on
being
west, you
defused
put
by
maybe 1 on
attackers.
east. So the enemy defending team will still think that there's 5 pushing, but it's only 4, right? Because you can't really tell the difference. And with the amount of gunfight, firefights, smokes, grenades going off, it's very hard to identify how many people are actually there. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Grab the drone, straight shot too.
Impact out. Shields out and ready.
Just there to push people.
10
Yep.
seconds to go.
So usually as a Monty, you're just trying to make it
5 seconds.
very,
to insertion.
very, very hard as a defender to just stay. You're like a moving
Attackers are
wall.
moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah. Monty's not, I won't say the hard operator, but one of the more mechanical operators. But definitely, if you can get very good at playing Monty, it's wow, it's insane. There are lots of pro teams where they just win solely because they have a very good Monty player. So something to note if you want to try learning, because it's one of the first few operators you get for free. So yeah, something to note. So now this is something I'm not too much of a fan of, where we see Wok pushing in alone, right? As you can see, there's no drones. He probably droned it himself on the bottom. But usually you would want to have the hard breach or support player to drone for you, because it's a lot safer and you can get live information rather than just thinking like, okay, I droned 5 seconds ago, it was clear. But if you had someone to drone you live, which means have a guy actively droning for you, right, staying on the drone, you would get information and feedback straight away. So let's say within that 5-second delay, right? Now there's no delay. So now if there's a guy, there is a guy. If there's no guy, that means there's no guy. But if you droned it yourself, with the delay, sometimes you can be caught off guard if a guy just comes out of nowhere. So that's just something to know. Pengu and Monty? Yeah, pretty much. Pengu, Lunamental. Oh no. But yeah, Monty is Monty is very strong. I don't really want to dive too much into it because it's not really a role in a way. But as you can see, yeah, here, the moving shield. It's Monty. It's Monty. Monty basically pushes people out into very, 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 very awkward positions. Alright, if it's GG, it's GG. Alright. So, let's go back. Let's go back. I play. Give me like 30 seconds. I'll get the slides back up. So yeah, that's something to note. For like Monty, right? Is how do I put this? It's a flex, right? It's like a flex support if role. So we covered as well. It's very dynamic. You don't really have to think of flex as this like how do I put this? You don't have to think of flex like it's some IQ only, or it's only smoke operator, some stuff like that. It's honestly very, very dynamic in how you can look at it. So oh, sorry, I closed the wrong I closed the wrong slide. My bad. Give me a moment. Give me a short moment. But yeah, so as the participants are coming back in, something I just want to highlight is a lot of the times I'm not really seeing the hard breaches droning. Instead, I'm seeing a lot of entry fraggers droning it for themselves. So I would like to recommend that you try to rely more on your support players rather than risk your life and just go in blind, right? Alright, I'm ready now. Okay, let's go through the slides. So, yep. As a Thatcher player, try to use your EMPs when your thermite needs it. If you know that it's a mute jammer, use it before, because they are not gonna trick the wall anyways. Just something to note. And Thermite players, try to stay on drone mode. Try not to have your entry fragger drone. Try not to have your flex players drone, because usually you wouldn't be doing much in the first like half of the round. So what you would do in this like a filler time, right, is you use it to drone for your teammates, or use it to basically like open up walls with your Thatcher player, which you're usually paired with. Where does Finker fall under? Finker is under flex. Flex is a very umbrella term, right? So flex is anything that's not, how do I put this? Flex can be a vertical player. So let's say you're playing Buck Sledge, they fill under flex. So like last week, we learned what operators do. So what operators exist is vertical, right? So like Sledge, Buck. So these are like operators. They're not really roles. The roles they fill would be flex. So let's say you're a Sledge main, or let's say you're a Finka main, right? You're a Finka main, and then someone asks, so what's your main role? You say flex, because you're not really a hard reacher. Neither are you playing support. You're playing more of whatever your team needs, or whatever that doesn't really have like a general category. Yeah. Is that all? If there's more questions, I still have about 5 minutes. So I can spend about 5 minutes. If there's no questions, I'll just move on. But yeah. So basically, all these operators that don't necessarily have much of a duty to do, like let's say Finka, what you're gonna do? Just click the gadget. So things like Lion, Finka, Jackal, IQ, all these are flex. But there's different types of flex. That's another way to look at it. So there's like utility flex, which is, in my opinion, I call it utility flex with my team. It's more of like Capital, Ying, where you use more smokes, more flashbangs, more for the team-based plays, more for executes. If you're talking about vertical roles like Sledge, Buck, you would still call it flex, right? But you're playing vertical flex. So yeah, there's a lot of things about flex. Is there a difference regarding competition vs rank? There's a lot. So in ranked games, it's usually not so much coordinated, and it's more gunfight focused, where it's a lot of just drone push, drone push, drone push. But in competitive play, it's more of how you use your utility. So usually the best teams in Rainbow Six is mostly because they are very good at maximizing their utility, which is like the smokes, flashbangs, heart breacher, gadgets, and everything like this, and also very good at managing their time. So focusing like last week, right? As an attacker, you try not to take too long, because the longer you take, which means the lesser round that's lesser time that's left in the round, the more it favors the defending side in the end. So basically, the best teams are good at managing their utility and good at time. So yeah, there's a lot of difference between competitive play and ranked. A lot of things you see on ranked, you actually never see on competitive play. So yeah, this is something cool, right? Can someone grab me McDonald's? You sit through this, boy. Hello, Speedo. Welcome to the stream. Always see you around. Yeah, we only provide R6 knowledge. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. But yeah, Rin, if you have any questions about competitive play, feel free to ask. Keep it within today's topics, but you can ask here and there. With the filler time, you can ask here and there, but yeah. Alright. I'll move on now. If you're interested in competitive play, hit me up. I know quite a bit. Alright, so now, focusing more on the defending side. Part 2, baby. Everyone drink up. Players drink up. Gamers don't drink enough water. If you haven't got any water, go take water now. Alright, so common general roles. It's roamer, anchor, boom, bap, bam, finish. Right? Boom, bap, bam. Sub roles is still the same. IGL, which is in-game leader. And there's also something called soft roam. This is not really a term that's used so much, but it's still like a sub role. My team uses the term soft roam. I use the term soft roam. Most teams don't really have a term for this, but it definitely exists. So what soft roam is, well, I'll get into it. I came here for rank, for free carry can. I accept PayPal, my dude. Psych, I'm just kidding. What is hard roam? I'll be going into it. Don't worry. Alright. Please be my coach. Hey man, maybe. Alright, so roamer, iconic face of a roamer, Jaeger, right? So this is just an example. Jaegers can play as an anchor, can be on site as well. Rainbow Six is a very fluid, dynamic game, so never feel like there's only a certain way to do something. There's always like a B, C, D, E plan. So yeah, don't be too rigid on it. Always try something new. So yeah, what a roamer does is you roam around the map, as the name suggests. So roaming around the map means instead of hunkering down on site, let's say a bomb site's in the basement, church, and armory, you on clubhouse for example, you don't necessarily play on the site itself. On the basement, you can go on second floor, first floor, you run around. So a lot of this also under tips, you would see that there's a blue highlight. Someone asked me about the blue highlight. So what the blue highlight is basically just in Rainbow Six, as I was saying, right, it's very fluid and dynamic. So a lot of these things are very, very, very in depth, and as this is still like a beginner workshop and more for entry level, I don't really want to dive too deep into it because there's a lot. That's a lot. It could be like the entire 5 workshops just talking about it. So I wouldn't be going too deep in. If you have specific questions, you can ask them because I will have filler time for Q&A. So if you have specific questions, ask them, but I'm not going to be covering everything. So yeah, just some tips for being a roamer is you try to learn and properly waste time and keep pressure on attackers. So a misconception with a lot of players is that as a roamer, you need to get kills. A lot of misconception is that you have to run around. You hear an Ash shooting at the east side of the building on second floor. You run up the second floor east side and you go and fight the guy. No, okay. A good roamer is very good at identifying the difference between wasting time effectively and also when to take the gunfights. So basically, what this means is you don't necessarily have to fight people as a roamer. Wasting time is very, very important in Rainbow Six. Like as I keep saying, lesser time left in a round, bigger the advantage for the defenders. So what this means is it doesn't mean you play Caveira or Vigil and you just hide in a corner of the map for 2 minutes. What this means is you kind of let the attackers know that you exist and that you're running around the map, but you don't engage in any fight. So what's so good about this strategy is the attackers will try their best to find you, right? But they're not gonna find you. And even if they do find you, they would waste about 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds minimally, trying to find you. And this would waste so much time because this leads them to not being able to open up walls they want to because it's on the opposite side of the map, right? Stuff like that. And also wasting time is huge. Like let's say it's a 5v5. You've wasted 2 minutes 30. Now there's only 30 seconds left, right? And if there's only 30 seconds left, it's a 5v5. The attackers would have to only run through a specific doorway, a specific hallway, which it's a choke point, right? So it makes it a lot easier for defenders to just cover, and yeah, it's easy peasy. So as a roamer, I see it very often, so I'll be talking about this, right? I see it very often where roamers engage in too many gunfights. Roamers don't know how to properly waste time. Like even if they think they're wasting time, in actuality, attackers actually don't even know there's a roamer, so they play as if there's nothing, which means you actually don't waste any time. So usually, let's say the attackers don't pay attention to you and they don't try to find you and clear you. You as a roamer have to engage in something, jump out a window, break a window, start shooting, stuff like this, and that way it diverts their attention. So that's just a huge tip. Anchor, something I usually play. So a various face of the anchor is like for example Smoke, right? Probably one of the best defenders ever since his first release in year 1. So what an anchor is basically just like the name. You anchor down on site, so you stay on site and you're usually just on site. You don't really leave the bomb site, and you're usually getting on cameras for your roamers. So in the tips, you would see that I said learn to communicate well with roamers and ask what they need watched. So what this means is you would usually like, let's say you have a roamer on second floor and they're getting pushed very hard. What you can do is you can get on the first floor cameras. Maybe you get on a staircase, right? A staircase camera that leads to the second floor, and you can say, hey, your main stairs is clear. That way, the roamers will know like, okay, if I can get myself to main stairs, I know I can be safe and fall back into bomb site. So, something to note is you need to communicate well with one another. You need to know what your roamers need, and same thing, roamers, you need to tell your anchor what you need. So let's say you need more help on a staircase, you can get your anchor to come up. That's soft roam. I'll be talking more about that next slide. And let's say you need a specific camera watched. Tell your anchor player like, hey, can someone on site watch my main stairs cam? Can someone on site watch my white hall cam? Stuff like that. Damn, there's a lot of chat now. It was quiet for a bit. Now there's a lot. I heard here got free carry. Oh, okay. Let's see. But I don't know what am I reading. I see black hole. I see a lot of emoji faces and stuff. Hey, thank you, Gunless, for the kind words, dude. Thank you. I've been alright, looks like nothing is about the topic, but that's alright, dude. That's alright, as long as everyone's having fun. Alright, soft roam, speedo. This is your topic. You were asking what is soft roam, what is hard roam. There's a hard roam. There's not really a hard roam. It's just roam, right? Soft roam is you're actually an anchor. So what a soft roam does is, if the roamers need help, you are the one that goes off-site. So, same with anchors, you would have to learn to communicate very well with those people off-site, which is your roamers. You need to communicate and ask them what they need watched, what they need help with, right? So let's say your roamers need help to secure a staircase, you will be the one to go on that staircase and secure it so that they can fall back. So, soft roamers don't have a specific operator, hence why I don't have a face of anyone here, right? That's because it's usually quite flexible. In rule of thumb, you try to put someone with a good gun. So let's say you have a smoke, you don't really want to rotate your smoke off-site because smoke is so good at the last 30 seconds of the game. We covered that last workshop, which is about why smoke is so good, right? You got a gadget, a shotgun, so on and so forth. So you usually don't want to rotate them off-site because they become, characters like smoke, operators like smoke, become especially stronger the later into the round. So that's just a good way to think about it. So what doesn't get stronger later into the round? Jaeger, mute, stuff like, basically any operator that, has already done his job on site. You're quite free. Even if you die, you don't really lose too much. By example, smoke dies, you lose a lot because you lose that 27 seconds of smoke. So yeah, that's just something to note. So yeah, soft roaming doesn't really have a specific operator. It's more of like a sub role. It's a sub role. Yeah, that's a sub role. In-game leader, same thing. On attacking and defending, usually you would have an in-game leader. Usually your in-game leader be the same person throughout on attacking and defending, but some teams have it different. Like some teams have IGL on attack, IGL on defense. Some teams have IGL on first 1 minute and IGL on second minute, but keep it simple. You can have the same IGL throughout. That's me. I play IGL on both sides anyways. So I'm the one that bullies everyone. So yeah, just a note. But yeah, same thing. You would really have to try and have a very high understanding of the game, if not at least higher than the rest of your team. You're usually more passive, supportive, rather than I'm Bolo or Spoit and I go pew pew bang bang psycho. You're kind of more chill, relaxed, more. You think more than you just play, right? So usually IGL, you would see people not really getting too many kills. That's because they're trying to coordinate things, plan things. But yeah, just something to note. Alright, so which role should you choose? Wow, there's so much chat. I've never seen this much. I can't read. Alright, looks like they're just talking about ranked. Everything's chill. Looks like the community's building up. That's nice to see. It's 1 o'clock. Alright, so this is just some questions, right? That if you're not so sure what you really want to play, you can ask yourself, right? So are you more of an aggressive or passive player? So let's say you're more aggressive, maybe you can try playing roamer on defense, entry frag, second entry on attack. If you're more passive, you play anchor on defense, and you play things like heart breach, support, some forms of flex. As I was saying, flex is a very general term. There's utility flex, there is other forms of flex, like vertical. So generally, passive players play more of this laid back role, droning, supportive role. So yeah, this is just a rule of thumb. Do you have strong understanding of the game? This is more of like a IGL topic. Usually your IGL would actually be your heart breach or support play. This is because we are more brains than aim. Not to say that entry fraggers are stupid. Nah. But usually because you're playing a more passive role, you have more freedom to use your brain and think about a strategy, think about how you should attack a certain bomb site, or how your team on defense should hold your bomb site, stuff like this. So you usually have a bit more free time to think, rather than those more aggressive roles where you're always engaging in gunfight. That's why usually your IGL will be more laid back on the role, so that they can properly spend the time to think about what's the best course of action. Do you enjoy supporting the team instead? Yeah, that's more of like the passive thing. You like to play support, you like to play anchor. Very important. Never feel like as a heart breacher you're the worst player of the team. Unless you are the worst player of the team. But everyone's learning, so it's alright. Everyone here is learning anyways. This is an entry level course. So basically never be too hard on yourself, yeah. You need to help drone people. You droning ups your win rate so much, okay? Like when I solo queue, people would think, okay, I need to be the star player, I need to be the entry, I need to be the second entry. No. Let's say you drone for your entry. Let's say you just drone for the random guy who's playing Ashe every round. Now that guy on the random Ashe will be getting so many more kills, which wins you the rounds in turn. So yeah. How to drone properly. Oh, I just see someone follow. Thank you, DMarine2 for following. How to drone properly. I don't think we covered that in any workshop, but briefly, you just need to know what needs to be drone, right? Know what room is important, and also you need to drone properly. Don't like be lazy with your drone. If you have time, especially which is like early in the round, don't just drone a room and go straight across the room. Drone behind the couch, drone behind the table. Check everything. Also, best is if you have a teammate nearby your drone. So let's say your drone gets shot. Let's say you drone into a room and you say, hey, there's a Jaeger on the hard left of the door. Instead of just saying that and the Jaeger just runs away, or the Jaeger stays there but you have no more information because your drone died, have a player nearby, so that way you can drone it. You say, hey, there's a Jaeger on the hard left of the door. That way your entry frag most likely will be the one that can immediately clear the guy, right? So yeah, that's just something to note. One more interesting thing about droning is try not to drone, like let's say, don't say droning. Okay, so let's say there's room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't say room 1 clear, then you join to room 2. Room 2 clear, room 3 clear. Try to say room 1 clear, I'm joining room 2, room 2 clear, I'm joining room 3 clear. So that way, the person following your drone will also know what you are actually droning ahead of time, so they don't have to just guess. Yeah, so they have like they can just follow your drone rather than like have to guess you're going left or right with your drone. Yeah, that's it for drones. I don't really want to. Yeah, basically that's just something to note. Sorry for my ignorance, but which are the attackers' roles? Oh, don't feel too bad about yourself, dude. Don't think of it as ignorance. Everyone here is just trying to learn, have a good time. We're still a bit ahead of schedule, so I could show you. So basically on attack, I'll just go very briefly. I don't want to go through too much because yeah. So on attack, there's actually these 5 roles: entry, second entry, heart breach, support, and flex. Entry frag is usually like your Ashe. They clear rooms. Second entry is the one that follows behind, if not also is kind of like an entry fragger, but he pairs up with different people. Heart breaches your Thermite Hibana, opens up reinforcements basically. Support is like your Thatcher, Maverick, Kali. They drone a lot as well, like a heart breacher. Flex is basically anything outside of the category. So it can be IQ, it can be Capital, Finca, so on. Yeah. Alright, let's go back. Yeah, if you have any more questions, yeah, I think Hipster Fox or you Quicks, right, or Masa can get back to you in the chat. Alright, let's see. Alright, so if that's it, let's move on to the next slide. Reminder from Playbox, the IGL. Little Lost Player, thank you for the follow. Sorry if I don't see all the follows, by the way. I don't have notifications on necessarily, so. But yeah, for those that I see, I hope you have a good time here. Okay, so huge thing. It's a team game. Rainbow Six is a team game. It's very dynamic as well, as I keep on talking. But as a team game, your kills, your kill death ratio, it doesn't matter if you're getting 20 kills or not. Always play with your team. Right? Always play with a team and support one another. I always see people like scolding each other and everything. Try not to. Just figure out what's going wrong and then move on from there. Be constructive, right? Kills don't matter because as an entry fragger, you're most likely going to get the most kills. If not second entry, actually, it's going to get the most kills of support because you're playing very safe, right? Or you're getting a lot of information. So, but it's a team game. It's a team kill. Maybe, I guess you could put it that way. So yeah, always play together. Really, as a team, drone for one another. This is something to note, especially for the participants. A lot of you didn't drone for one another. Don't be shy. Just call for the drone because most likely, more often than not, your heart breacher, your support player probably has no idea what they're doing. If not, they have nothing to do, which is not their fault. So what usually you would have to do is you call, hey, Thermite, can you drone me in? Or like, hey, Thatcher, can you drone me in? I'll clear the room for you, then you can open up the wall. Stuff like that. Work together as a team. Don't just hope that you understand each other. Last, especially as this is a workshop and everyone's just trying to learn, don't think you're, ignorant. Don't think you're like bad. Don't think you're dumb. Don't think anything, alright? Take your time learning the game. Don't be too hard on yourself. A lot of people quit, alright? Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six is a very hard game. Evidently, it's a very hard game. I have a lot of real life friends who quit the game very early on. So try not to, really. Once you understand this game, you get through the basics, everything just comes naturally. It's like when you skate, I don't know if you guys skate, but let's say you skateboard, right? Once you learn the ollie, you can basically do anything else just given the time. Rin, come on, Rin. Come on, be nice to yourself. But yeah, everyone really learns at their own pace. You're not trying to be the next bowler. You're not trying to be the next striker. Yes, you can be inspired. It's good to be inspired, but just work on your own pace. Don't think too much of other people because that will probably make you worse. Focus on your own gameplay. If you did something wrong, think why it went wrong. Don't just think, oh, my gunfight's bad, or I'm just bad, I'm trash. Don't do that. Bring yourself up. If you did something good, praise yourself, right? Stuff like that. Just like, good shot. Nice one tap. Good clutch. Good droning. You're playing safe. Stuff like that, pat yourself on the back. It's not the only hard thing when I'm watching play. Oh, I didn't read that. I didn't read that. Practical session 2. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? I didn't read that. I didn't notice. That's an oopsie, dude. All you need is in a team is Sharia. Man, let's not talk about Sharia. Sharia is probably like too good. I think if Sharia was doing this workshop, I think everyone right now would be diamond, if I'm being honest. Fox, I've invited you. Sorry, I should have set up the lobby a bit earlier. Yeah, I mean, it's true, right? If no one compliments you, compliment yourself, dude. You can't always be too much of a bummer, You gotta bring yourself up. You can't just, make yourself feel bad. That's how you end up not playing too good, right? Should we go club? Should we go cafe? I think we can go clubhouse. Clubhouse is like the default map. Oh, Arabella, this person's new. It's Arctic Monkeys, right? I respect that. As in this guy. Is it? I can't see it. I have a light on. I can't see, but yeah, I think it is, right? It's Arctic Monkeys guy. We're a full lobby? Alright. Oh, you? Me? I'll need to invite room when I leave lobby. What? Oh. Okay, I can invite Rin. If you leave, I can invite Rin. I get what you mean. Playbox, my girlfriend broke up with me. You don't need girlfriends, dude. Overrated. All you need is MMR. Games, a good computer. That's all you need. That's all you need. Overrated. Why do you need a girlfriend, dude? Whack. Just play. Honestly, evidently, if you just play games, you will be single anyways. I mean, what? I didn't say that. I'm kidding. I hope everyone knows I'm kidding. Monka S. I just need SI trophy. Who needs a girlfriend? I just need to win SI. Duh. Playbox, can I try your PC? Monka S. I actually have another PC next to me. It's my brother's though. There's an aimbot called gaming chair. Get a Logitech Herman Miller. I'm not sponsored. If I am sponsored, give it to me. Thank you. Wait, so Fox, are you leaving or? Are you leaving? A more is called plastic chair. Alright, Fox is leaving. I'll wait a bit. Alright, in the meantime, coffee break. By the way, it's my birthday soon. Can I get a happy birthday in the chat? Turning 18. Happy birthday, me. I'm turning 18 in a few days. Tuesday will be the day. Yay, NS. No, I'm not JC kid. I'm not JC student. I'm too dumb for that. I'm too dumb. Hey, hi Quack. I didn't notice you. Hello. Happy birthday. Thank you. Do you have to serve? Yeah, I have to serve. I'm a Singaporean citizen actually. I used to be a PR, but even PRs have to serve. But yeah, sorry. I am Singaporean. Goodbye, hair. Yeah, it's alright. My hair has been mad greasy recently. I don't know if you can tell from the camera. It's really greasy. But, oh well. A little bit of grease is still better than no hair. How'd you go from PR to Singaporean? I was in primary school, I think. You have to go to like the embassy. I think that's the word. And then you just change your passport. Just wait a long time. Just sit down in the room and just wait until they call your number. And then, and then you're like, yep. We take a picture. The picture takes like 2 seconds. You don't even care if you're smiling. Just like pop. Get out. You wait like 2 hours, 2 seconds for the picture. You're out. That's it. Omega yikes. Thanks for the follow, dude. Then show the what's the WOs? Bro, in NS I'm gonna QE. Start QEing. Like, dude, why aren't you drop shotting? Dude, where's the flash hider? Why aren't you using a vertical grip? Just kidding. Oh, warrant officer. Sorry, I don't know anything about NS. My brother just finished NS actually earlier this year. Entry frag in NS, bro. I'm not gonna entry frag now. Am I supposed to add him, Fox? I'm not gonna entry frag, dude. When you gonna enlist, might see me. I'm enlisting. I'm 18, right? So I'm enlisting when I'm 21 or 22, right? He's registering now? Alright, chill. In the meantime, if you have questions about the game, you can ask. If it's a bit off topic, it's okay. A bit, just a bit. Especially if it's any questions regarding the last two workshops, feel free to ask again. If you need like a reminder or like a refresher, because we already covered it, I can talk about it again. In secondary school, were you in NA, NT, or Express? I was in normal academic NA in my first year, and then I got promoted to Express. So I was Sec 2 Express, 3 Express, 4 Express. Yep. Am I supposed to add him? Oh, yes? Is that me? Yes? Yes? Alright. Damn, that's a hard-ass name to type. R3 Public I can't find his name. Oh, yikers. Could you yikers, that's a long name. No, it's alright, it's alright. No, I'm not blaming you or anything. I'm just saying like damn. Public chair underscore, right? I can't find it. Oh, there's no C. R3 public chair. Oh wait, R3 public chair underscore. Ah, there we go. There's no C. I get it. I get it. I get it. I can't spell. I'm not 18 yet. I can't spell. Everyone knows you need to be 18 to spell. Damn. Chill. Come on. Alright, invited. Shut up! Shut up! I'm not old enough to spell. Relax. I guess I just start whenever, right? Starting in 3, 2, 1. Ikimasho! Imagine if his dude. If his name was that, he'd probably be cheating. So yeah, this time we'll be focusing on the defenders. Clubhouse, good map for defenders. Probably one of the more defender-sided maps. Alongside, it's not really as much as Villa, but it is one of the more defender-sided. Yeah, but there's something in my eye. Coffee. I'm willing to change it if that's what it takes for Playbox to suffer to add me. Oh man, dude, I can't even spell Republic with Tre, QUE underscore at the back. Dude, you could probably put like Apple and I can't spell it. Y'all don't understand, man. My laptop is like a meter from me, okay? And I have a light up there that's glaring into my eye, okay? I can't read, man. Damn, chill. It's my birthday, man. You're gonna make a birthday boy cry. Or soon TM birthday at least. Alright. Let's get back into learning. Get the gears rolling. We about to learn, baby. We about to learn. So yes, if you look at this operator lineup, Smoke, Anchor. Capcom, most likely Anchor. Bandit, most likely Anchor. Maestro, most likely Anchor. Mute, most likely Anchor. That's the theory. But in actuality, any of these can basically roam as long as you're not, well, not Maestro. Usually as a roamer, you wouldn't want to go anything more than a 2-speed. Because as a roamer, you need to run a lot, if not move a lot. And also, if you're 2-speed or 3-speed, your silent walk, which is like your walk, right, is more quiet. So it's harder to hear for the attackers. So this is something to note. Gonna stream snipe. Alright, dude. Relax. So something to note. Let's say all of them aren't roaming, right? Who would be the soft roamer? Soft roamer would be either Bandit, Capcom, or Mute, because they have the gun to do it, and they're fast, and they already do their job early on. So yeah. If anything, the only one that really shouldn't be the one going offside is Wokke on the Maestro, because it's a very anchor-based character with the cameras, right? Put your socks and Crocs.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Oh no. Shoot the window! So yeah, let's say that's Fuse again, right? We covered it. It's a flex operator if you're still asking. So yeah, it looks like the defenders are playing a lot. Oh, looks like someone's running out. A lot of these roamers, a lot of these defenders, they're actually all playing on Anchor. I don't suggest this too much because it is the roamers that actually are the ones that make it hard for the attackers. So let's say attackers want to take top floor, it is the roamer's duty to make it as hard as possible for the attackers to take top floor. If the attackers are trying to take the bomb site straight away, it is the roamer's job also, kind of, to make it as hard as possible. So what this means is you can create distractions, or you can play C4 from below, or you can just go for the kills, right? So stuff like that. Where the bandit tricks, I'm not sure if they know that you can bandit trick, actually. I wouldn't say it's advanced, but I think a lot of these players, they aren't too sure that you can do it. In competitive play, bandit tricking this clubhouse wall is actually not very common, by the way. For Quack, because I know you cast. It's very hard to bandit trick this wall, especially because they would have to clear. Attackers usually take below anyways, or take the window. So yeah, something like that. Okay, so this is a good example of why you shouldn't have everyone play as a roamer. Sorry, I can't get this right. Alright. Oh, I cannot get this right. So as you can see here, right, this entire space is free for the attackers to take. So as this platform and this garage. So the issue is that I cannot spectate a guy. There we go. The issue with this
5
is
seconds
you
left.
give the attackers a lot of space to work with. So what this means in the long run is the attackers will be able to push from
Operators, you have
north,
run out of
south,
time.
east, west, vertical. They can take everything, so they can clear and kill you from every angle. So this makes it very hard for defenders. And usually within the bomb site itself, there's not many angles you can even play. So that would mean that you will end up having 2 guys watching the same door or 2 guys behind the same box. So this makes you very prone to dying. Page up and page down. Now I changed the binds. What's an ideal team composition? We covered this last week. I mean, it really depends on the map. In general, you would on attack. Are you talking about defense or attack actually? Generally on attack, I think you know, but yeah, it just depends on defense and attack.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
If
bombs.
you're asking my defense, I'll just answer. Looks like there's gonna be roamers this time, so the cornbread playing Cav, hard roamer pick.
Bomb located by
But generally on
attackers.
defense, on most maps you would only have 2 roamers. 2 roamers, 3 anchor. In which one of your anchor at least has to be an intel operator. If not, your roamer is like Valkyrie, right, with information. You would always want to have C4, so try to have at least 1 or 2 C4s as a defender.
5 seconds remaining.
Jaeger is basically like a must pick.
Attackers
so.
are moving to defuse the bomb.
Like maps like Coastline, which is very gunfight heavy, you would have 3 roamers on default. Most maps usually only need 2. If not, it's like a 2 roam, 2 roam, 2 anchor, 1 soft roam basically. I think now we can see, yeah, this guy's roaming. Can I roam with Doc? You can, but I don't really suggest it because, as I said, roamers, you try to pick a fast operator so it's more quiet. And okay, a good that's a nice C4. Never mind. A good rule of thumb, right, as a roamer is you don't have to always be Jaeger. So a tip, right, is let's say your bomb site's on the 2nd floor, you try to have your roamers play Mozzie, play Valkyrie, things with nitro cells, because that way you can deny plant from below. So instead of being a roamer and having to cause distractions, you can let the attackers take the bomb site and then you deny them from below. But let's say your bomb site's on basement, then well that doesn't work. So you can have Jaeger on roam, you can have
Attacker
Vigil
bomb
on roam.
diffuser has been dropped.
Wait, could you give me some weapon attachment recommendations for Monty's shield? Yikes, dude. You gotta pick up the 3-speed boost. It's a DLC. It's about $7 on Steam. So as you can see, right now, if the roamers die, it causes so much trouble for the defenders because they'll end up not knowing how to play, right? There's too many angles to watch that it forces the defenders to have to create the play. They can't just wait for the attackers to push because they'll most likely lose considering they have a lot of angles to watch and they'll be exposed to a lot of angles. So that is why the defenders will be forced to peek more. So usually a tip, right, for most teams is, let's say you're playing attacker and you got a lot of control of the map, you don't have to play aggressive anymore. You can play a lot more laid back and sit back because the defenders will be the one engaging in play. So let's say in this situation, right, the defenders, as you can see, Ephemeral, he's the one peeking, he's the one taking gunfights. That's because he's getting pinched, he's getting pushed from different angles. So as an attacker, usually once you control a lot of the space, you can just wait. The defenders will be the ones peeking you. You can literally take your time, just hide and just wait. The attacker's big satay. Ah, yeah. Yeah, something that the attackers didn't do very well, right, is as I was saying, you have a lot of control. You literally control the entire map except the bomb site itself. So don't push the same area. As an attacker, you can push different. So you can stack up like 2 and 1, right? You don't have to split all 3 because that's very risky. You can put 2 and 1 where the diffusers win on one of the 2 guys. So let's say they can drop kitchen hatch, push 1 in the hallway. That way, you know, you engage in gunfight but not too much, and you're still close enough to trade one another. So you basically have, you know, you have the dynamic already. Is Legion effective in high ranks? Nah. If you're talking about ranked as in matchmaking, no one really plays Legion anymore. Because on ranked, a lot of people play Valkyrie, a lot of people play Pulse, so this means IQ is like a very common pick, especially having a very good gun. IQ is a very common pick, so Legion's not really strong anymore. It's not about the damage, it's just not very strong. Even on competitive play, you often don't see Legion. I think you only see Legion on like maybe Villa. But other than that, not even every team brings Legion on Villa, so it's not a very common pick. What are some tips for anchors to hold down tight, hold down sights and angles?
10 seconds to go. Attackers
Don't
have
play
discovered
common
the
areas.
location of a bomb.
Don't play common angles at
5
all.
seconds left in the
Especially if it's rather exposed. Don't play pre-fireable angles.
Attackers are
Let's
heading
say
out to defuse a
one
bomb.
thing to it's very complicated. But let's say you're peeking. Let's say as an attacker. Okay, so you always have to think of it as an attacker point of view, right? Like, is it easy for the attacker to kill me? So what goes into this easy, right, is how many angles does the attacker have to clear before they see you? So something a lot of people don't realize is when they're playing, like let's say where Bandit is playing. I think this is Bandit. Yeah. Okay, never mind. He got off the angle. But let's say he's peeking that doorway, right? Is that the only spot for the attackers to see? Because if it is, it's a very bad angle to play as a defender. But let's say to see the doorway, the attacker would have to look behind a plank, look behind a table, and look behind a staircase. And you are the 4th angle to check, or the 3rd angle to check. This is the angles that you should play. You know what I mean? Because if there's only one angle for the attackers to watch, it's very pre-fireable. Their crosshair will probably be already on your
Attackers
head.
dropped the diffuser.
But if you're playing on a, you know, like the 3rd
Attackers
area
have
for them to
recovered
check,
their diffuser.
that's when you catch them off guard, and that's also when the attackers will have to play very QE and, you know, just pray. Right, so that's just it. Angles like this aren't so good. Reason being, it's very open. Like, he's exposing too much of his body. As a rule of thumb in this game, play as far as possible from the angle you want to hold. So example here, right? Let's see who's on the doorway. Who is on the doorway? Like this angle's alright, but it's very pre-fireable. But okay, an example is, let's say you want to peek the door, right? You don't peek it on the door. You don't peek right in front of the door. You stand far as possible from the door, and then you peek. Because in basically any first-person shooter, honestly, the further you are from an angle, the more of an advantage. You'll see the guy earlier.
Loading new mag.
Yeah. Why is it like that? I don't know. For players who know how to have good movement and know how to like QE, right? Don't expose your body and QE. Expose just your head and QE. That's something that most players still make mistakes on. And defenders, you can play very tight angles. So let's say there's a door and another door. You don't just play in between and watch this door, right? You don't just watch the door you plan to watch. You would play behind even the second door. This way it creates this very like thin angle. So you at least get information. You don't have to kill the guy. Or so at least, right? Let's say you see the guy in a 1 pixel. You see the guy, you shoot. As you shoot, you white peek. So you just white swing it. Stuff like that. Usually if you're holding angles, you don't expose yourself. Yeah. Seems like attacking side's having a tough time. Yeah. Actually, Clubhouse is probably the most defender-sided map. One thing bringing it back to the topic is also that they're putting too many defenders on anchor on site. What defenders can be doing is putting their roamers, right? But as a roamer, what they're doing wrong is that they're engaging too
Defenders,
much
protect your
in
bombs from
gunfight.
being defused
Because
by
if you have
attackers.
noticed, the attackers are playing very slow. which is very smart because they know that the defenders will be the one peeking. So what the defenders should do is they should stop peeking, wait. If not, if you have Valkyrie, right, such a good operator, you have Mute with Nitrocell, Bandit with Nitrocell, have these players play below. Because this game has a lot of vertical angles, and on Clubhouse there's a lot of floors and ceilings that can actually be broken with Nitrocell. So what they should be doing is playing a floor down. Toss the Nitro.
10 seconds left.
Really.
5 seconds left.
This is something to note for the participants.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
Because like right here, right, they're playing 5 people on site. It's not great. You always want to extend yourself more, so it's more fluid, more dynamic, rather than you sit on site and wait for the attackers. So a tip, right, for teams is when you're roaming, you either roam vertically or you roam horizontally. You don't roam both. It's very hard. So what this means is, let's say your bomb site's on 2nd floor. If you're roaming vertically, it means you're holding below, which is 1st floor. And you're usually playing near the bomb site, just right below. So this way you can use Nitro Cells to deny plant, or you can deny staircases that are close by. Or, in this case, let's say you want to roam horizontally, which is what Smoke is doing at the moment. Horizontally means if your bomb site's on the east side of 2nd floor, you put your roamers on the west side of 2nd floor. This way you control the entire 2nd floor. So if the attackers push from 1st floor, they can't go up easily. Stuff like that. Oh.
Attackers dropped the
Damn, that
diffuser.
sledge hit that. So yeah, as you can see, now this guy's playing vertical. So this is what I was saying. You try not to play both. Because one is, both roamers won't be able to help one another. And two is, if you have one guy below, one guy horizontal, that would mean that if the attackers push 3 guys to clear roamer, and they push 1st floor first, it's a 1v3 instead of a 2v3. So it's unfavorable. This angle is not good to hold for Quack, if you're wondering. Reason being, this is the first angle someone would check. Let's say I'm picking this doorway, right, that Rin is holding. The first thing I would check is this rotation. So that's a bad angle. Oh! Okay. Man, my hair is greasy. Yeah, always just put yourself in the other person's perspective. Like, make it so that you're not the first place that the attackers check. I'm not telling you to play in the open, but honestly, in Rainbow Six, holding angles isn't the play. If you watch a lot of Japanese, Korean teams play, you'll see that. I'm not saying that they are the best teams, but they definitely probably have the strongest gunfights in the entire game. So, like, basically, it's usually you can, if you're holding a tight angle, you just see the guy and you white swing. If you're not holding a tight angle, you just don't hold it because it's bad. Holding angles is really bad. And try not to just stand still. And just like, for example, there's a box. You don't just stand there and, even though you're just exposing your head, don't just stand there like that. Just crouch spam, move left, right a bit. Just, make it so that you don't just die for free. Especially because Rainbow Six is a peeker's advantage game. Like, if you know what you're doing, you know how to peek from far, which is what I was saying. The further you are from the corner on angle, you will see the guy earlier, right? And if you know how to use movement very well, which is your C, Q, and E, which is your lean, I mean, usually you want to be the one that is peeking. So let's say you're holding the table, right, and you're watching a doorway and the guy's peeking the door and you're behind the table. You don't just stand at the table. You peek from the table. So you just stand up from the table and you white peek it, right? Or you just keep E and you squat again. Because you have the advantage if you are the one controlling. Because the attacker won't know whether you're standing up from the box or when you are not going to stand up from the box. Only you know when you're going to stand up. So you, in turn, right, you know what's going to happen, so you control the gunfight. As long as you are the one controlling the gunfight, you're most likely going to win, so. some pixel angles. I don't think I'll cover that. This is a lot, and it's very different from maps to map. So this is good. Rin and Ephemeral, they're making sure they're using the utility correctly. They're pairing up, as I was saying, the Thatcher and the Thermite, which is support and Heart Breach paired up. Good. Very good. Yeah, control the gunfight. The more you wait, right, and play passive, the less control you have. You don't know when the guy's gonna swing you. You don't know whether he's gonna QE the window or white peek it. You don't know anything. You don't know if he's gonna flash. So yeah. A lot of it is just controlling and taking favorable fights. Like let's say Ephemeral wants to push this, and there it is. The catwalk, right? Because it's a vertical angle, you wouldn't want to push it. Because you're disadvantaged. Okay, so bringing it back also to Thermite, Heart Breacher. He's done his job, he's opened the main wall, and now he can play as a fragger. So this is something, misconception a lot of people don't know, which is, as a Heart Breacher, and a Thatcher, right, support, once you've done droning, once you've done, basically once you've done droning, once you've done use your gadget to open up walls, you're free. You can still continue to drone and play more supportive, yes. But now you can take a lot more gunfights because you don't have to stay alive. It's not like if I die early, I will lose the round. But instead, in early rounds, right, you always want to stay alive as a Heart Breacher because once you die, you can't use your gadget. And that's bad, right? So, yeah. So as a Thermite, right, you stay alive. Just don't die at all until you use your gadget. Once you use your gadget, you're a bit more free to do what everyone else is doing. Haha, diamond. Alright. Let's go back. Alright. Oh, why am I not present? Ah, there we go. Let's give it like a 30 seconds. But pixel angles, honestly, I don't know. You could just play around. Also remember, when there's a table, there's many ways of holding the table. You can pick up, you can pick right, you can pick left. So yeah. It's not just up, 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 up. It's like up, right, left, everything. So many ways. Make it as hard as possible. As people are streaming in, I don't really have any more slides. Now it's more of a bit of a short Q&A because this is actually all we have. As the participants come in, I'll probably talk. Ah, my hand. There's blood on my hand. I hit my hand today with like a belt by accident. Alright. Okay, it looks like people are coming in. So, some things I would like to commend is I see a lot more drone work. That's very good. I see more pairing, which is like the Heart Breach and support. That's very good because that's what we learned from the last session and today's session. I saw a lot more. I saw the Heart Breacher actually taking the diffuser as well. I think this is very good because it's you're taking in the feedbacks, right? So Heart Breacher usually is the one that carries the bomb, if not the support. And yeah, so I see pairing, I see stuff like that. So I think that's very good. But focused more on the defenders, right, is one thing I would like to say is for roamers, because I know you were in the game so you can't really hear me, but for roamers there's two ways of roaming. So usually you would only have two roamers, right? So there's two ways of roaming. There is horizontal and vertical. These are like the main two, right? So let's say your bomb site's on CCTV second floor. There's two ways of roaming. You roam first floor right under CCTV, you control bar maybe, or you roam horizontally where you play inside the bedroom. So what horizontally means is your bomb site is on the east side of second floor, you hold the west side of second floor. So these are like the two ways of roaming, right? I still see a bit too much engaging in gunfights for the roamers. Honestly, if you know that you're a fragger, right? You're an entry fragger or or what do you call it? Like a more gunfight player. I've known a lot of these gunfight players, right? You would start to realize that if you work more with your team, you actually get more kills anyways. My current team, I have an entry fragger. He is one of those who doesn't really use his brain too much, but he has good gunfight. So it took a while for him to understand that in a team game, right, working with a teammate, communicating with them, asking what you need drone, what you don't, what you need drone, what you need help with, who to drone you, stuff like this. It really elevates your game as well. So that's your job, right? You're entry fragging. You're supposed to clear rooms, get kills. So use your teammates' free time, right? Like a heart breacher to drone you in, clear the rooms safely. If not, at least get proper information so you can win more of your gunfights. So you don't have to check every single angle. You know that, okay, there's a guy behind the table means there's only one guy behind the table. So stuff like that is very important. And what else did I see from the defending side? There's too many anchors. I don't know if you guys were referring to like pro play, because there are certain strategies that pros even use that where they all 5-man hunker down on a bomb site. But I would suggest, in general, try not to do it, because usually pro players do it because they kind of have a proper strategy for it. They know what they want to do early in the round, mid in the round, late in the round. They know where to put certain shields, castle barricade. They have a proper setup, right? So if you're just playing ranked, or you're playing with your friends, try to have at least 2 roamers. And have your 2 roamers close enough to help one another. Try not to split them too much. So as I was saying, there's only 2 ways of roaming, horizontally and vertically. If you're planning to roam vertically, have your roamers play things like mute with C4, Valkyrie with C4. This way you can deny planters, or you can C4 from below, basically in general, to kill attackers without actually having to risk your life for a gunfight. Or you can roam horizontally, where you can play things like Jaeger Vigil. You don't need C4s because you're gonna engage in gunfight most likely. So choose one of the 2 between the roamers. Don't try to split up too much and believe that alone one guy can kill like 3 people. It's not very winnable. Like if your entire plan is to take the risk that your one player can kill 3 or 2, I don't really think that's too good of a strategy. Try to have a good baseline. Like if your roaming is not working as 2, maybe put 3, stuff like that. Or change the operator lineup. Maybe you need more information. You can play Valkyrie, Maestro, Echo, or maybe you need more nitro cells because you like to roam vertically. Okay, and then maybe instead of putting your bandit on barbed wire, maybe you can put it on nitro cell, stuff like that. Monty Big Drone, Ash Big Rush Run. A very vulnerable Ash run. Very vulnerable drone, dude. I need to chow first, got work tonight. Alright, thank you, Gunners. Thanks for coming, dude. All the best for your work. Isn't Pulse better because you may not know the position? Pulse is... How do I put this? I wouldn't say Pulse is better all the time, because Pulse would require one player to literally be doing nothing but giving information. And when you're on the scan, you cannot get on cameras. So unless you're pulsing in a safe, quote-unquote, location, I usually just suggest you just play Valkyrie. So that way you can just flip through default cams and Valkyrie cams in one go, Maestro cams in one go, rather than you only scan at one spot. And as a pulse, it's good if you know what you're scanning for. Let's say you have a roamers playing on the 2nd floor east side. Maybe you can scan the west side from all the... Because if you didn't know, pulse can scan up 2 floors. So I may be on basement, but I can scan up to 2nd floor. But something I would like to say also is you need to know the map without being there. So a very square map is like a consulate. So let's say you're pulsing in garage, you can actually see CEO repel. So you need to know from garage itself when you're scanning, you just see that red dot, but you already have a very good understanding of the map to know like, okay, he's in connector, he's in meeting now, he's in, you have to know through the dot and communicate a lot with your roamer. But I wouldn't say pulse is any better, no. When they are planting the diffuser, See, a good rule of thumb is you can have a maestro put a camera on site. Maestro is a very strong operator, so you can have a camera on site itself. You try to always have at least one cam for plant. So be it a maestro cam or a Valkyrie cam or a Mozzie drone or an Echo drone, always have one for plant. Like there's usually default plant is what people call it. So it's like general. It's like the place that people usually plant. So it's like 70% of the time people plant there. So usually when you have cameras watching these kinds of locations, you will know when they're planting. Because smoke plant will be counted. Yep. Yeah, there's that. There's also like honestly as a roamer, right? One tip I would like to give to roamers is or people who want to try roaming if you're playing Nitrosource is you need to know the vertical of the map as well. So like let's say there is no camera but you have a teammate saying default plant, default plant, default plant. You in your mind should know where is default plant. Let's say, oh, planting by long desk. You in your mind should already know from below, like, okay, if I throw this on the ceiling at this specific point, it will kill the person planting long desk. So this is quite important. But I mean, generally just take your time. In Rainbow Six, you gotta learn a lot of the map. Like the map is the most important thing to learn, and it's also the hardest to learn. Okay, it's 151. Still alright. Okay, does Capital Arrow have bullet drop? Yes. But it's very slight. It's like after 20 meters, I think is when it drops, if I remember. It came out during Burnt Horizon. But generally, you don't really need to think of a bullet drop because it's so slight. Capital's a very good operator if you're willing to learn. I used to play Capital quite a lot. And professional play Capital gets banned quite a lot because it's probably one of the top, like I in my opinion, I think it's top 2, top 3, within the top 2 or top 3, maybe even the best execute operators. So like because you can burn off angles, you can smoke off angles. Yeah, and you have flashbangs to burn ADS, which is very useful for sight. And your gadget doesn't get affected by ADS. So Capital is, if you can learn it. And you know what to smoke, don't just smoke for the sake of smoking. If you know what to smoke for certain pushes, it's incredibly strong. It's gonna definitely push you up. And in our region, Singapore especially, or actually just Southeast Asia and APAC actually in general, considering like Korea, Japan, everything, good utility players like Capital Ying, all these kinds of operators are lacking. So if you're interested in learning, it's very useful because not many people are very good at it. Capital can counter bandit trick. Actually, Capital, no one uses Capital to counter bandit trick anymore. The most effective ways to counter bandit trick is you play vertical with Buck or Zofia stun or Maverick. Maverick. Another thing, if you are learning how to play hard breach or support, as you move on slowly and you're very, very, very comfortable with Thermite, Hibana, Thatcher, Kali, maybe, you can learn Maverick. Maverick is also an operator not many people know how to play, and if you know how to play, it's definitely going to push you up, like, straight away. Like, you become better than everyone. It's like if you're a gold player and you're playing Maverick and you're good at Maverick, you could even, it just means you're basically plat. Easy. It's quite a hard operator to learn, but if you're good at it, not many people are very, good at it, so. But there's Wamai to counter Capital. Usually it's not an issue considering Capital has his flashbangs, which means he can actually clear the magnets on his own. And there's only 5 magnets, so usually you would have an Ash with flashbangs or a Thermite with flashbangs anyway, so it's usually not too much of an issue as long as you're coordinated. What's the outcome of Wamai if they are playing bandit tricking? I'm not really sure I understand that question, sorry. In the meantime, I think I can elaborate a bit more. I'll answer maybe 2 more questions. In the meantime, I'm gonna read a bit of the workshop chat and see if anybody in the workshop has questions as well. Let me find it. Nope, doesn't seem to be any question. Oh, the workshop chat. Alright, yeah, there's nothing in here. What are the chances people play Wamai if they are bandit tricking? There's actually no real correlation between bandit and Wamai. Because, yeah, there's just no correlation. Usually you don't open walls with like my gadget doesn't matter really. Yeah. Well, mine's just strong because it's stacked up with Jaeger. Other than that, nah. There's no like relation. If you play Maverick, it doesn't matter at all. Like if they play Kaid or if they play anything, Maverick literally counters everything. If you don't know how to play Maverick, Thatcher still counters, so it's good enough. Zofia stuns. If there's magnets, you can clear from below. And usually the more effective ways is to clear from below. So let's say the clubhouse, right? You saw the CCTV wall. Usually what teams like to do on attack is they push through like secret, or I don't know what you call it, blue, right? They take lounge, they shoot a Zofia charge into the wall from below, and yeah, the bandit can't trick anymore because there's a hole below him. Or you can nade it, which is what some teams also do. They play like Sledge. They cook the grenade, they nade up to the ceiling, it kills the bandit from below, and then you move on. Because if it's below, right, it doesn't trigger the Wamai. It doesn't trigger ADS either. And depending on the map, sometimes it's very easy to clear vertical, considering it's just like, example, some maps you would have to clear like 3 rooms just to get to where you want. But on maps like Clubhouse, usually you only need to clear that 1 room. After you clear that 1 room, you have the entire vertical control. So yeah. I can do one more question. If anyone else has question. Thanks for being very verbal, by the way, Lost Player. And Wokhe. And Rin. And Quack. I can answer one more question. About any operators. Maybe you have a question about what's some tips for IGLing, or what do you recommend as a, I don't know, heart breacher? How do you stay alive? Stuff like that. Man, my hair is scuffed. Can someone buy me like hair product for my birthday? I've never tried hair product. Alright. I found a border shooting spot. Pretty sure no one know. I mean, then just use it. Keep it to yourself. Alright. Without further ado, I think there's no more questions, right? Buy pomade? Maybe. Maybe. Heard about it. But yeah, I think if there's no question, there's no questions, right? For quick side, there's no questions inside the Discord, I would assume. Yeah. Give tips for IGL. Hair going, so shut up, Fox. Okay, tips for IGL. I had a slide on that a bit. Let me just move it to there really quick. Yeah. Oh, I have to go through like this, never mind. Yeah. So some tips, right? It's written here. You have to usually you'd have to have a high understanding of the game, and so usually at lower ranks you try to just learn, right? Just try. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because I will always say this, right? If you have 5 people being coordinated, doing the wrong quote unquote thing, it's still better than you have everyone not understanding what's the plan. It's like in Counter-Strike terms, you say rush B, right? It's such a simple thing, but it works because everybody understands what is rush B. Everyone knows, okay, there's most likely going to be a flash first, a smoke first, something like that. In Rainbow Six, it's the same. If you say, hey, let's push through east side. In a sense, it's wrong because you're only pushing from one angle, but in another way, at least everyone's coordinated, following a specific plan. Most likely the execute will be better. So yeah, stuff like that. And as IGL, bring up your players. Don't bring them down. Don't like scold them like, hey, why didn't you listen to me? Hey, why didn't you smoke this? Just say, hey, yo, next time don't forget to smoke. Or like, hey, next time can you join me in? Next time don't forget to do this. Something a lot of people get wrong is bringing down players just brings them down, right? Like straight out, like it's very obvious. Like if you scold them, they're gonna play worse. If you're gonna encourage them, like, hey, next time maybe play more passive. Don't just peek for free. It's effective. They understand. They're probably already pissed at themselves anyways, but this way they understand that they're doing something wrong, and then they'll hopefully fix it. Then once they fix it, they do something good, praise them. Then they'll continue. Positive reinforcement, baby. One more thing is, yeah, basically help your teammates play their best. Encourage them. And as an IGL, if you're giving out a command, like you say, okay, Thermite, I need to open up this wall. Zofia, you play by yellow stairs. Ash, you need to push through the back. You need to be very, very clear with your calls. Don't just say, I think one guy pushed from behind, another guy, you just play outside yellow stair. They wouldn't know what to do. You have to specifically say, like, Sophia, play yellow stairs. Ash, push from the back, push through cafeteria door. Thelma, you need to open up the right side of the breach. Thatcher, you just play by the left. So it's very clear, right? Everyone knows where to stand, where to play. And when you're pushing, you don't just say, push now, just go, go, go. No. You have to relax. It's like, let's say, okay, on 25 seconds, we go. Or like, after my third flashbang, we go. After thermite charge open, we go. Something like that. So it's very clear that everyone knows what to do. It's okay. For lost player, solo ranked is just like that. Unfortunately, not everyone is as committed to properly learning and everything. So don't be too hard on yourself, especially if you're learning, right? Focus more on yourself. There's a lot of things you cannot control. You can still try, but if it doesn't work, focus more on yourself. If you're not playing well, focus on that. Just focus on yourself, right? Just like try your best and learn from yourself. Don't struggle with the thought of my teammate's throwing, my entry fragger keeps dying, my Ash is just running in. Don't think of that. Just think of, okay, what can I do to potentially make it so that I can win? That's the main thing. And at the end of a session, don't just get tilted, right? There's no point being tilted. It's always best to just be constructive with your own criticism, right? You can be the most be your harshest critic, but don't make it so that you quit the game. Yo, pretty girl. Hello. Hello. Alright, I think if it's... Does that answer a question about IGL? I think it does, right? Alright, if that's all, let's go back. Because that is all I have for today. It's 2 o'clock. I think some of you are probably really hungry. I know I am. Not really, actually. I'm kind of chill. I got coffee. Coffee's good. Anyone want to sponsor me? Nescafe? I'm looking at you. Or Espresso or whoever. If that's all, my name is Geraldo. You can call me Playbox. Everyone calls me Playbox anyways. My name's especially hard to say, so just call me Playbox. You can find my Discord. If you don't have my Discord, I don't know, you can contact me through Instagram or Twitter. I will check my DMs on Twitter. I don't really get notifications anyways, so I could find your message very easy. So if you still have questions you want to ask me off stream, it doesn't even have to be like from today, right? You can have a question maybe a month down the road. You're like, okay, I improved a lot from gold, I'm now plat, but how can I get that diamond? How can I get that juicy purple rank? Stuff like that, ask me. All right, you can DM me. I really don't mind. Don't expect to get replied like 5 minutes because I still am quite busy with like scrims, team practice, so on and stuff like that, outside stuff. But I'll definitely reply within a day or two. So if you have any questions, you can Instagram me, you can Twitter me. If you like my voice, if you think I'm cool, if you think I have a very nice forehead, if you think my hair is very greasy, you can follow me for more. Can we slide into your DMs? Anybody can. Anybody can. Can I have your number? Shut up. You already have my Instagram. Alright. That's I'm definitely not pulling out a script. Everyone look away from the stream. Look away from the stream. I'm not pulling out a script. 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 Everyone. Oh, my script is stuck. Okay, it's not stuck anymore. Alright, not script. Not scripted. Alright. So, to everyone here, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed today's session. The weather has been very wonderful. I know you're all very sleepy, probably hungry, and it's rainy. Everyone wants to take a nap probably with like a jacket and air conditioning and whatever, right? But thank you so much for sticking around for the 2 hours anyways, especially for the participants. Thank you for signing up. I know it's probably quite early when you came on, but thank you for sticking around, playing, and I hope you learned something from today. And also for those participants before, I hope you learned something from before as well. To everyone new in the Twitch chat, I've seen some new names. I hope you learned something from me today. And I hope you had a good time at least communicating, talking, and engaging with the community. Also, I just want to say that if you want to know more about Rainbow Six, right? There's a Rainbow Six Singaporean community group. So basically, a lot of Singaporeans have this Discord group for like Rainbow Six. So we have community events. Actually, tonight there'll be a community event, and Yeah, so there'll be like weekly community events, there'll be videos, there'll be everything related. So like if there's an event like a LAN opening, although there's COVID now, so we can't do it, unfortunate. But yeah, we usually have like events in real life, online as well. So join the R6SC Discord. Also, if you like other games like Mobile Legends or I don't know what else, there's podcasts as well. Follow this SCAPE esports channel because there'll be other stuff, not only this R6 workshop. So do follow this channel, see new things, learn new things from other games as well. I think it'd be very nice to see. Also, to the participants that have signed up, right? Bonus. If you have signed up for at least 3 out of 5 of the workshops, you'll be receiving 2,400 credits for free. You can buy that elite skin you've been dreaming of. You can buy that sexy Ash skin or whatever. Right? I don't know. You do you, man. I'm not gonna judge, right? Some of us hella lonely, but yeah, you can do that free. You not only learn the game, you get to buy stuff for free. You get free credits, right? So I think that's really, really win-win, right? And yeah, so if you enjoyed today's session, you're more than welcome to sign up for the other workshops. There's 2 more workshops left on 26th of September and 3rd of October. So feel free to sign up for those. We'll be covering some other topics this time instead of like today's session, which was more of a continuous from the last session. So we'll be learning newer things moving forward. And I think that's all from me. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great day ahead. And yeah, I hope y'all learned something. Y'all can maybe in a month's time, 2 months' time, you DM me on my Instagram like, yo, bro, I hit that diamond ring. Oh, yo, bro, I finally got gold 1. Oh, dude, that'd be sick. It'll be sick if y'all DM me and tell me like, hey, thanks. Then I'll be like, hey, that's my boy. I don't know who you are, but that's my boy. And then, yeah. So, yeah, I hope you all liked today. And if that's all, can I get a peace in the chat? I'll have my birthday in a few days. If you follow my Instagram, you could probably see me do something mad stupid. So, I'll be having a YouTube video out soon as well. So, thank you so much for today. And I'll see participants on 26 September. And I'll be seeing Twitch chat on 26 September. If that's all from me. Bye-bye, boys and girls. And oh, I shouldn't say that. Bye-bye, everyone. Monka S. Bye-bye. Everything's chill. Have a good weekend. Everyone. All the best of your ranked games, buddies. All the best improving. Bye-bye.